The line of trees that, from afar across the open plain, had appeared faintly bluish-green turned out to be a forest of foxtail grass. At that time, the land was in the height of foxtail bloom. We walked through a hazy world beneath the drifting shadows of foxtail flowers. In every direction, all the way to the edges of the horizon, the view was washed in a pale, silvery white, grayish, shimmering with countless foxtail plumes. Within this forest lived villages of dragonflies, longtime neighbors of our cricket clan. These settlements were home to many kinds of dragonflies: the fierce royal dragonflies, the lightning-fast corn dragonflies, and the brilliantly dressed chili dragonflies. The young males and females, delighted in their brand new garments, told us they were heading to watch the greatest martial arts tournament in the region, held to celebrate the season when the foxtail grass turned the land white and bright. The story of the tournament went like this. The previous year, the old praying mantis elder had passed away. This year, the people of the region decided to hold a grand martial contest to select the most capable warrior to take responsibility for the affairs of the land. It was an old tradition of the foxtail grasslands. At the heart of the fields, a towering arena was erected, grand and imposing, built entirely from golden reed wood. During the first days, the matches were merely eliminations. Young mantises, eager and reckless, barely past their youth, scrambled onto the platform. They had little real strength. After trading a few blows, their bodies trembled, and the fights became awkward and tiresome to watch. Only after several days, when the weaker fighters had all been filtered out, did the arena truly come alive. That morning, before going to watch the matches, I wandered alone around the grounds. My stomach growled lightly, so I stopped by a stall and ate a few sprigs of grass to steady myself. Suddenly, several ghost grasshoppers, who had been hopping about and showing off before female katydids, quickly scattered aside. Inside the stall, the noise fell silent. A praying mantis entered with solemn steps. He lifted each leg high, goose-stepping with deliberate arrogance. The twin serrated blades at his sides were held close to his chest, as if to announce that he was born of the warrior class, always guarding his pride. I thought to myself, those who boast the most often spill everything from their mouths, while inside they are empty as dry husks. Seeing me standing casually at the stall entrance, as though unaware of his presence, the mantis suddenly slashed at my head. Pain shot through me. I leapt aside and countered with a double kick. He dodged and raised both blades again. He did not rush forward, but pointed his weapons at my face and said coldly, "If you have skill, come up to the arena later." I gave a thin smile and replied with polite mockery, "With pleasure." When I returned to the festival crowd, the arena was already alive with combat. I was startled to see Chewie standing firmly on the platform, facing a beetle warrior. It turned out that Chewie had long harbored resentment from a past beating delivered by that beetle's clan. The beetle was no weak opponent, but Chewie wielded his forelegs with precision. After circling briefly, Chewie gathered his strength, leapt forward, and struck with a powerful kick that sent his opponent crashing onto his back. Chewie had won. The elder grasshopper, acting as referee, announced loudly, "Fighter Cricket, Chewie defeats Fighter Beetle. Who will challenge Cricket Chewie next?" "I will." The praying mantis from earlier leapt onto the platform. I followed in a flash and shouted, "Wait, this match comes first. Do you remember our appointment?" The mantis raised his twin blades, still wrapped in arrogance. I wasted no time on elaborate forms. I leaned forward, lifted my forelegs, and stamped rapidly, whipping the air into rushing currents. When the clash began, I shortened my stance and aimed my kicks straight at his abdomen. He responded with a vicious move, hooking my neck and attempting to slide a blade toward my throat. Dazed, the mantis flipped over my back. That was exactly what I had been waiting for. I planted my stance and unleashed my family's signature cricket technique, a thunderous backward kick that struck him squarely in the face. The proud mantis screamed, was hurled into the air, and landed outside the arena. I had defeated my opponent cleanly and decisively. The crowd erupted in chaos. No one had expected the region's most formidable praying mantis to fall so swiftly and so painfully. The elder grasshopper raised his voice again. "The contest for supremacy now concludes. Fighter Cricket Chewie will face Fighter Cricket Daymen." I stepped toward Chewie, draped an arm over his shoulder, and spoke loudly for all to hear. Honored people, my brother and I have only just arrived from distant lands. We never intended to compete for prizes or power here. We are merely wanderers, drawn by the beauty of this place, passing through with no intention of settling. We humbly ask for your understanding. But the villagers would not relent. They insisted that such rare talent must not be wasted. At last, the elders declared, "To lead this land, one of you must accept the responsibility. This is our custom." I refused again and again. Choat stood silently, saying nothing. Only later did I understand the meaning of that silence. In the end, I had no choice but to accept. The crowd roared with cheers, proclaiming us chief and deputy leader. Choat seemed delighted. Wherever he stood, he tilted his antennae and plucked them like strings, humming cheerfully. I, however, felt uneasy and troubled. All I had ever wanted was the freedom to roam. I said to Choat, "Do not mistake comfort for happiness. We are still young. Living only in ease like this would be no less stifling than when we were trapped in our old home cave." As expected, comfort did not last. That winter, a great upheaval struck. The wind howled endlessly. The cold bit so deeply that even our legs trembled. We had to search for shelter. By ancient custom, when the cold season arrived, all creatures abandoned the frozen fields and migrated together in search of warmth. In such times, all honor and prestige dissolved, leaving only the struggle to survive. Even staying alive became a fierce challenge. Conflicts, sometimes bloody, were common. We reached a river embankment and sought refuge in a wild pineapple thicket, known for its warmth. Scouts soon returned with grim news. Every crevice was already occupied by giant grasshoppers, massive, powerful creatures several times larger than ordinary grasshoppers. Our entire group cried out as one, "Charge in! If we must fight, then fight, even to the death." And so we threw ourselves into battle. The fighting raged in chaos until dusk. At dawn the next day, we surrounded the thicket once more. We had to rescue Choat at all costs. But when we pushed in and peered between the leaves, we froze in disbelief. The crevices were empty. Not a single giant grasshopper remained. They had withdrawn during the night. The winter shelter was secured, but my heart sank. In their retreat, the giant grasshoppers had taken prisoners. Choat was gone. Once we settled deep within the pineapple thicket, with food and shelter secured, I finally spoke. In the recent conflict, my brother was captured and taken away by the giant grasshoppers, exiled to some unknown land. Long ago, we swore to live and die together. Now that things have come to this, I cannot remain here. I must go find him, to the ends of the earth if I must. Only when we are reunited will I return. Everyone gathered to dissuade me, urging me to stay. They reminded me again and again that once I found Choat, I must come back. But my resolve was set. Brotherhood and loyalty, how could I remain behind in peace? Farewell is always the same. My heart felt heavy, weighed down with longing. And so, with my bundle packed and the wind at my back, I set out once more. Though the winter cold made my wings and antennae tremble, the entire grasshopper village emerged from the leaf crevices, braving the wind to escort me for several miles before turning back. Heading northward, I walked toward distant leafless shrubs. Step by step, uneven and weary, I passed through winter and into spring. On clear summer nights, beneath bright stars and a full moon, my loneliness deepened. At times, I lifted my face to the empty sky and called out, "Brother, where are you now?" This journey was not for glory, nor for discovery, but for a single vow. Thank you for staying with me. If you enjoyed this story, please support me by subscribing and pressing like. Your companionship is the strength that allows me to continue sharing more beautiful tales.